So the president's announced that he's sending 100 troops to Central Africa to combat the LRA, to combat Joseph Kony. Would you support this if you were president? Is this something you would do?
You know, in thinking about this, he signed legislation. Congress authorized that this is what needed to take place. He signed that legislation. As president, if I would have signed that legislation, I'd have had an action plan ready to go immediately. From all appearances, this really does seem to be genocide. I mean, this really seems, these are really bad actors. There's a finite number of fighters, 300, whatever that number is. I don't know if I would be sending advisors in there as immediately after having signed the legislation, sent in a strike force to wipe them all out. Now,
that's very non-libertarian of you.
Well, I've always said genocide is something that none of us want to stand by and watch happen. From everything that I can ascertain from this situation, this does qualify for genocide.
What about the Gaddafi threat when he was winning the war against the rebels at the beginning to wipe out the people, his opponents in Benghazi? Would you have sent an army to go and prevent that?
No, I would not have.
Why not?
I did not see a military threat from Libya, and that's another issue here with the Lord's Resistance Army. Is that they're nationless. We are talking about a foreign dictator here. I don't think there's anything in the Constitution that says that because we don't like a foreign leader, we should go in and topple that foreign leader.
But I'm not sure I understand. Clearly, the Liberation Army in Uganda is not a threat to the United States. Yet you would send a strike force. You can argue equally whether Gaddafi is a leader of a country or not. He was a threat to the people of Benghazi, and you would not. So I'm not sure I understand the logic.
Well, these are the questions that I would. Another thing, as President of the United States, I would be really transparent. Look, I'm signing this legislation authorizing wiping out the Lord's Resistance Army. I'm authorizing that legislation. On the other hand, going into Libya, I heard the transparency. I just didn't see the military threat. And no, I do not for a second see a military threat from the Lord's Resistance. I do not see that as a threat to national security at all.
But I've always said for you, there's a lot of nuance in your answer.
Well, there is a lot of nuance, and being President of the United States is a lot of nuance. I mean.